That's not how my brain works, and I think we're related, so I don't think that's how your brain works.
Welcome back to Voicing Valiant, podcast made by the community for the community. All things Valiant and also audio issues. This is actually take 2 of episode 9.
And joining is me, Zaza. Hi, I'm finally here.
This is our usual editor. You might hear him every now and then cutting in to maybe say something that happened like basically right after we finished hitting stop on record.
Or things that you guys forget.
Hey. You didn't catch. Hey, you forgot the Otter Pops too.
No, I did not forget the Otter Pops. I was editing in a cafe and I couldn't edit in at that point.
Excuses.
Tons of excuses.
So yeah, technical difficulties. So instead, our editor is going to be in this time as my co-host.
Hi.
So moving on to this week in Overwatch League. I feel like a lot of the games went how I expected, except for maybe...
At this point, I think we all have a pretty good understanding of who the teams are and where they land, and I don't think there's too many really big mix-ups at this point that we're going to see.
A lot of the teams have become pretty consistent. If they've started to drop off a bit, we understand that. I feel like maybe Seoul versus Boston was a little... not how I expected to go, because even though both Dynasty and Uprising haven't been doing as well as they have in previous stages, I don't know, I was feeling like Dynasty was finally starting to pick it up again, but I guess Uprising picked it up faster.
Yeah, and I think that just really, like, if you would have told me at the start of the season that Dynasty would be putting in these results, I wouldn't have believed you, honestly. I really wouldn't have. Gladiators and Excelsior.
I was pretty happy about that just because both the LA teams beat New York Excel, which is at the top. And I feel like the Pacific Division. Pacific Division. You see, I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier, but the editor is actually my brother, so he has to live with me constantly stumbling over Pacific.
Oh, so. It's not that bad. It's not like we live an hour from the Pacific Ocean.
So yeah, I feel like the Pacific Division is usually like underrated, I guess. People usually don't expect them to do as well as they do. Even when they do well, they're like, oh, whatever. So I was like really happy to see that both the LA teams have defeated the number 1 team in the league.
And I think that at least this stage, isn't Gladiators number 2?
As of last week.
I mean, as of Saturday of last week.
Yeah. Yes, they are number 2 because they also defeated London, New York, and Houston. Yeah, because the only one who has defeated Gladiators is Valiant, who is undefeated so far.
Which is, I mean, you got to give LA some props that we got 2. Well, not 2 undefeated because but like teams, the two top teams this stage are both LA teams, so we're doing something right.
There's something in the water. I can't even say that because like most of the players aren't even from LA, and the other teams are staying in LA, so I can't even do the in the water joke.
Yeah, it's like, oh, obviously Portos is giving them power, but like, no, anyone can get Portos. It's not the in and out either.
It's totally the in and out.
Oh, if it was the in and out, then why aren't the other teams need to be discovering the secret by now?
You know, I would have thought San Francisco Shock would discover the secret of in and out. Seeing as though I think there is one in and out up there, maybe 2
there's
now.
Multiple, and then there's a ton in Texas. There's a ton in Texas.
Sometimes I forget how much in and out has expanded. You see, in my days,
we're not that special anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, no, but I feel like San Francisco Shock put up a big effort against New York Excel. They did tie one map and take one off of them. But it would have been nice if all the California teams would have beat Excel.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still just for them to be the top team and then, you know, both LA teams just to take games from them. That's just huge.
I'm really proud of the teams, how they've all become. Like Danis coming back from where they were.
Mm-hmm.
Shanghai still hasn't gotten the win.
Yeah, we'll get there
one day. The thing is, like, the second they lost against the Mayhem, they went to map 5. I was like, yes, this is when they're finally gonna. Nope, never mind. I'm sad again.
Yeah, no, it's like, I think Dragons does this at least every week, where they toy with your emotions. You think they're finally gonna get their first win, and no.
Because it's something I mentioned to many people, is that the Shanghai Dragons are very good at taking one map.
Yeah.
That's it. They are very good at taking a map. Sometimes they can take 2 and go to map 5, but they always burn out by the end. Now you can have Dia doing these just amazing plays, getting like the shot from across the entire map.
Mm-hmm.
But they still don't have anything to really capitalize on his picks, and they fall apart in the end. So like, I would have loved to see more. Like, they've done a lot of improvements, but I would have liked to see more from them.
Just from what I see, it feels like they're 6 good players playing together, not a team.
Yeah, because the language barrier is there.
Yeah, the language barrier is there, but language barrier is there for other teams too. I feel really confident that we're gonna see far better showings in season 2, especially if Shanghai Dragons actually gets their, they get time to practice, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna be in China. So if they get time to practice in China, by the time that's the second next year,
it's not until the third season that they're going to have their own. What they're doing is the first 2 seasons are going to be in LA, and then the third season everybody should have their own stadium in their own city.
I thought they were gonna start doing it second season.
They changed that at one point. But yes,
shows how out of the loop I am. This is why I edit. This is why I don't guest.
Yeah. The way he keeps up with Valiant is by editing this podcast.
This is true. This is very true. So, I mean, was there anything else that you saw that was really outstanding? Fuel getting a win?
I mean, see, this is how out of the loop he is. Fuel's been doing actually very well this stage.
Edit this out.
Moving on to this week for Valiant, the important team.
Yeah, this game just had me really stressed out. It just...
Like, Valiant going up against London Spitfire, one of the other, like, for a while, top team in the league. This stage, they haven't been doing quite as well as they've been doing in past stages, but they're still one of the very, like, in past stages, they were one of the best teams. This stage, even doing, but it was still very stressful because we didn't really know which way it would go, especially after that first map.
Yeah, no, the first map just Blizzard World just.
Valiant isn't very good at Blizzard World.
I can tell, and it was a very nice attack, very quick attack. Spitfire did hold a bit, but like, we took it quickly. Yeah, it didn't seem like it was too hard for Valiant to take.
I feel like that was one of Valiant's best attack on Blizzard World.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up finishing that map with, I believe, 1 minute and 33 seconds in the time bank.
Which is better than I've ever done on it.
One of the things, the thing is that Valiant ended up with time in the bank, but they managed to stall the London Spitfire enough so that they wouldn't get any time in the bank. So it was just one final attempt from Valiant that they needed to win. Unfortunately, they could not take that final attempt. But what was really cool was at the beginning of that, they showed a little fun little statistic, is that Fate had 5 more final blows and 3 more Earth Shadow kills than Gesture had. And Fate had 2 minutes less time played on Reinhardt than Gesture for that map, starting at the beginning of Valiant's final attempt.
Yeah, no, the whole game really had me on edge, just because I saw how quickly Valiant took the first point or did the first attack, and I'm like, oh no, they got this. And then seeing how much they struggled defending against Spitfire really just like, it really had me on edge. I really thought that the last push that they had where Hog had the whole Hog there, I thought that they might be able to at least keep overtime going on their final attack, but it's just yeah.
They had lost their Risa. They didn't have a shield for the Roadhog. It was just too much, and they weren't able to get on point. But at the very least, it was a draw, seeing as it is not one of Valiant's best maps by far. I believe it is. Let's see.
Yeah, but it
is currently the worst map in terms of win percentage, and it's about like even in when it comes to how many times they've played it, around the middle. So it's not even that they haven't played it often. They've played it enough that there's a good amount of like data on it.
Of data there, yeah. And then we go from probably one of their worst maps to Lunar Colony,
which this stage has been one of the very best, which is funny because past stages they've absolutely terrible,
awful on it.
Before Blizzard World was added, I believe Lunar Colony was the worst map, and they are very, very close in terms of win percentage. I believe that Winston map is only updated up until Saturday, so 33% win on Blizzard World, while Lunar Colony has 33.3.
So it's not much. It's the two worst maps they had, and you could very much tell when they played on Lunar Colony because like London just held so much. They couldn't do anything.
Valiant tends to be very well with holding Lunar Colony, but not the best with attacking it.
Yeah, no, and then the attack you showed, I thought it was hilarious though when Agilities tried to hide outside.
Oh, that was precious. Like, I honestly thought he was gonna get away with that.
No, but seeing him floating around and just like dying in zero gravity. I mean, it was sad, but it was adorable.
I wish a zero gravity zone would be used more often. I'm expecting it'll be used more often with the map changes.
They're going to. I don't know if the map changes, but they're definitely gonna make another map that's gonna use zero gravity more. They have to. It's just too fun of a mechanic. And then we're both avoiding talking about Valiant defending this point because
they did a pretty good job at defending for the most part. I feel what really got them was that graviton surge that was off the map, which none didn't pick up the NAS percentage they needed because Agilities had a very good Riptire to stop the first good push that London had. But his second tire really didn't pick up anything. I believe Zaza had her bubble up. So that really stopped him from making any sort of impact. Then that graviton surge, Agility was already off the point and wouldn't have been able to get on in time as he was stuck in that animation. That's really like what started to fall apart, but I feel like they didn't do as bad as they've done in like previous stages on that map.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's just like, I don't know, it was just kind of disheartening at that point because, one tied, one lost. I really felt like I was starting to lose hope at that point. But I think like Tower really, really changed it up going to Legion Tower.
It's always fun to see Valiant on control. Yes, they're just even if they don't win, they always put up a very, very good fight. I feel like that's where you can really see them excelling, and it's almost always Agilities on the Farah, and he's just become so good at Farah this entire season.
Yeah, no, just seeing shots that I don't know how he makes them connect. I don't know if he has some weird like sense into the future, but just seeing those shots,
he's just so good at
something else.
Predicting I meshed projectiles and predicting together.
Predicting his projectiles. No, I'm good at projecting. No, but like it. Okay, for the first map, it was just really going back and forth. I didn't know. It felt like both teams had it at one point, and then Doomfist came out.
Desperation Doomfist,
Desperation Doomfist. It was so good.
And I believe one of the casters was like, I'm always looking forward to Agilities or Hydration dying at the end, so they come out with that Doomfist. I don't remember which one it was that said that, but I don't
either. But then at another point, I'm like, let's see what Thanos can do here.
Oh yeah, Thanos is coming out. I'm like, oh god.
I do think he took out half the team.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, Doomfist is very well in those desperation moments because he gets that shield from his damage done, and he has high mobility to get him to the point faster, which is why a lot of people switch to him. And that
was a reference.
Damn it! Damn it!
He took out half the team.
God.
Back to work.
We go on to map 2. I can never remember the map, so it's the one that's inside.
Control tower. Where is it? Control center. There.
Control center. Yeah.
Yes, because let me think. Wait. Yeah.
Yeah. No. I got really excited.
Lijiang Tower is the one that I know the names the least.
They're not very intuitive, but
because it's Garden and Control Center. Yes.
Yeah. No, I got really excited because I saw Soon come out with McCree, and McCree is honestly my favorite hero. And then, like, 3 shots into barriers, and he had to go swap off.
You're just like, howdy. Oh, a barrier. Bye.
Basically, and it's like, I really wish I could see more.
Soon McCree.
Just McCree in general. Just because I love playing him, and I think he does take a lot of skill, but it's not the meta for him. Yeah. It's not the meta for McCree.
Yeah, like honestly, Soon on McCree is like very, very well, but his swap was very much needed.
Mm-hmm.
And like the baguette on the baguette.
Yep. No. It surprised me how good Soon is at Brigitte because it's such a different playstyle to, the very aim focused, the kit scan heavy stuff that he does with like McCree or Tracer or Widow. Brigitte is so different, but the fact that he goes on and he just stomps, it's so good, and it definitely helped win this map.
So, many people like know him for his Tracer, and these past few these past few stages, he's been very much on the Widow and a bit of McCree, depending on the composition and the maps. But it's like it's one of those things that really shows that he isn't just that Tracer like he was known in the previous years. Now he can learn these heroes and excel at them.
Yeah, and he has like that kind of flexibility. It's really awesome. So yeah, no, Valiant took that game. And then we go to Dorado. Honestly, this was a little sad.
No, Dorado was like so like one of my favorite part was just Custa breaking out the Battle Mercy, taking out what was it? Bell Mercy and the Widow.
Mm-hmm.
She's like so good. Like yes, get it.
Flying around, what was point 2? Flying around, just getting those 2 kills. It
was right when they were gonna cap point B, and just.
I think what sealed it off was Zen. Soon picking up the Zen right towards the end.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have. I don't remember if Transcendence was up, but they didn't.
Transcendence was up.
Okay, so that would have just like cut off their defensive ult.
Yeah, so Transcendence was up, and that just like helped them push that last little bit. And it came out after their Zen respawn, but it wasn't enough at that point because there was just no follow through.
Yeah. Like the most that would happen would maybe be a stall, but it's just like it didn't work out for London. Like I believe they even broke out the new seal at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the swaps they made weren't the right ones or at the right time, and it didn't work out for them. Then when they went on the attack, London couldn't push past very well.
Yeah, Valiant just held. They held at the not the doorway.
The arc. Yeah.
The arc, yeah.
So that's what a lot of people hold because that's where the defending team rotates to. And
yeah, it's a really nice choke, but oh my god, just it was sad. I honestly wanted the Spitfire to put in a better fight, but
it's one of those games that like makes London earn the name of the C9 because they basically they C9'd. They got like 3 kills, but because they decided to run away from Aginity's, I believe it was Aginity who was on, Aginity's Riptire at the very end. They instead of dying on point, which would have extended the overtime.
Yeah.
They could have had like one person die on point while the other one like kind of backs away. And then that person comes in. And then
come back.
But they all ran off the point. And like the Riptire didn't even kill anybody. I believe the Hanzo shot it down. But he was just like, he had backed away too much to the point that the overtime ran out. It's like, and then it's a C9 from C9 again.
Yeah, it sucks. So that was Valiant and Spitfire. Moving on to our match with the Outlaws.
That was so fun to watch. So fun.
That was Valiant at full force.
Yeah, it's one of the ones where you think that the Outlaws are favored just because I think in general, I can't remember if the Valiant has beaten the Outlaws before. If they have, it was all the way in stage 1. I don't think, wait, did Valiant not go up against them in stage 1 or am I looking at the wrong time?
They have to have.
No, there's one team that every team does not go up against and it switches off. I don't see. I think they just didn't go up against them stage 1, and that's why I don't remember them the score against them. Let's see, week 5. Yeah, but it looks like they just didn't go up against them stage 1. Because I remember stage 2 and stage 3, Valiant lost against the Outlaws.
Yeah.
So this was their first win against them, and it's 4-0.
It's a 4-0. It's a great game to watch.
We had what maps was they again? It starts off on Lizard World, and Valiant actually takes Lizard World.
It just, really showing just the kind of team that Valiant can be when they actually just all coordinate together.
Yeah, and as usual, on Lizard World, we see Space breaking out the baby diva main. I just. 22 eliminations to 2 deaths. This boy doesn't matter if he gets demeched. He gets right back in mech. He doesn't die. This boy does not die.
Yeah, no. I don't have too much to say to this one because I watched this game. I had to watch this game on replays at work, so I was half paying attention to it.
I was the Overwatch League page now has a stats page. It doesn't have a per player, per map, per hero type. It's a player stats for all heroes of that stage. So I can't so what I can do now is look at those stats per the map and per the series that they had towards these stats, and it's actually pretty interesting because these stats are per 10 minutes. It's really funny because you get people like Bunny and Fate who have KSF and Numlock. They all have 0 healing, no healing at all. But that's because they're either DPS or tank.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because when I just look at these, I'm just wait, what? Oh, wait, that's because it's not their role.
Yeah, no, it is.
And then you look at some of the ones that all Agilities does have some healing, but that's because he also plays the Roadhog sometimes. It's just it's really funny seeing these stats.
Yeah, so like I said, I don't have too much more to say on the Valiant Outlaws game because I was half paying attention to it while working. Does anything really stick out to you other than just
Valiant?
I
was doing so
Valiant.
well. Like I feel, I believe it was Hanamura that they managed to keep the Outlaws from even from taking the second point.
Mm-hmm.
So Valiant like very easily took that. If that is the map I'm thinking of, because
Well, 2-point bonus.
yeah, because Hanamura like they played it again against another team, and I'm like, wait, am I mixing them up again?
No, Hanamura, they had 2-1.
Yeah, okay. And then they went on Oasis Control. So much fun to see. You like Outlaws put in a big effort.
They took the library, didn't they?
That is University, I believe.
University.
Yeah, it's the
they took
one.
University.
This one was the one that you said that they said the Thanos, I think.
No, Thanos was in the Spitfire game.
Spitfire? I remember he broke out the Doomfist twice.
He broke out Doomfist again. Yeah.
Yeah. And then was this one the one? I think no. This one was the one where the caster said, "I'm always like when they die at near the end, so they break out the Doomfist." I think it's this one.
Okay, it was this one. Yeah.
He broke out the Doomfist like twice, so we can't remember which one. But yeah,
it was just.
What I find funny is he used the Doomfist to basically make Coolmat C9, because Coolmat was Diva. You think he almost got the DMAC by using the upshot combo, but the Diva had defense matrix up, so the last bonnets didn't hit and then DMAC, but there was enough of a knockback from the uppercut that the timer ran out since he landed slightly off of the point, and he was high enough in the air for it to start running out. So it was like a forced C9, because if he hadn't been booped off the map with the punch and the uppercut, he could have kept it going for a while longer and have been able to be like maybe DMAC'd onto the point and started even longer as Baby Diva. So I was just like it was just a forced C9. If he had been able to start longer, maybe Houston Outlaws. I mixed it up with
Outlaws.
the other Texas team.
You said London somewhere in there. That's not in Texas.
London was the last game that he used Doomfist on.
Yeah.
I said I almost said Fuel. I'm like, no, wait, that's the wrong Texas team.
Outlaws. It's the Outlaws.
Yes. That was a pretty fun game to watch. Dorado is I feel like it's always nice to watch Dorado, just aesthetically.
It really is. It just
I might be biased.
Valiant. Yeah, definitely biased.
Valiant managed to push pretty damn hard. I find funny is like Coolmat again, C9. He was the last one on the card. Flies upward to send his Diva Bomb off, but since it's already in overtime, it's been overtime for a while. He was up in the air long enough that it ran out.
Just C9 hit. Yeah, I know. I remember actually seeing that clip in the highlight reel. That's painful.
It's just like two C9s from Coolmat. Like I wouldn't even call that last one a C9, because I don't think his team would have made it back in time. Because a C9 is usually like defined as winning a team fight or getting close to winning a team fight, then basically walking off the map.
It's still just painful either way.
Yeah.
So I should probably just clarify that we're not going to talk about the game that happened on Wednesday, just because this episode was supposed to come out on Tuesday, but because the audio issues, we're just going to keep this to week 4, and week 5's episode will come out at the regular time. So you want to move on?
Yeah, let's move on. Inside LA Valiant, we did not have a video for Inside LA Valiant, but what did come out was a 90-second video for Soon.
For the best player on the team.
You're biased. You see, I got him into Valiant by telling him Soon was one of the players.
This is true.
It's very true.
This is true. Yeah, Soon in 90 seconds.
That 90-second video was funny though. It's like
it was really funny. It was so wholesome too.
Like his favorite animal is a cat.
This is the correct answer.
I think my favorite part was he's like, oh, when you're sad, the cat comes to comfort you. I'm like, oh such a good boy. Oh.
No, I think the video is really nice, showing like the kind of person Soon is outside the game. He just seems like a really down to earth person. Like Soon is definitely the kind of person who, in his position, could let fame go to his head, but you can't really tell it's not.
I mean, he admitted to not believing in aliens. Like, who admits that they don't believe in aliens?
Me. That's an easy question.
Yeah, it was a nice video. And cat, he likes cats. That's all that matters.
He likes cats. And then we had the other video of the kid who made the sign language for the Overwatch League, or like started making like name signs.
Yes. What happened with that is Danik is a deaf 14-year-old living in Riverside, not too far away from us actually, who grew up in LA, and he is a big fan of Valiant. The thing is that he can't really watch the games on Twitch because he can't hear. So he won't really know what's going on besides what he sees visually. So what he did was he worked out a way to have an interpreter sit in front of him as he's watching the game. So she will sign what the casters are saying. Because he can't hear that when, like, you and I can when we watch the games on Twitch. So he and I got to watch it and see his interpreter tell him what the casters are saying. And it was really cool because since the names, like, it takes too long to sign out someone's name like you usually do. So they came up, he worked with his interpreter, and like these are probably also signs that other people have used, and like after a while, like they figured out different signs to use for the names. Like Widow, because she's a sniper, they do sort of like a sniper hand movement thing. Junkrat, they do the motion that he does when he uses
for the rip tire.
Same with Genji and his Dragon Blade. So it was really cool that they have these very these movements that we ourselves would probably attribute to these players, like these heroes. And they like put that into how he knows, how he's able to read the signs.
Yeah, I'm honestly, the Genji one's just the one that stuck out because it's so simple, but it's like just a little thing that would had to help someone go so far to feel, well, just so to know what's going on and to be part of the community still.
I know that since that Watchpoint video came out, some other deaf players and people who are part of the community have put out videos like of how they sign for Overwatch and the Overwatch League, and Danik himself was making a video. I do not know if he's finished it because I did not get a message to if he did, but he was going to make a video to put out what signs he uses for the heroes, and I believe the Overwatch League names, because he also has one specifically for NA Valiant, stuff like that. It's really cool all the effort they did.
Really cool, really cute, really wholesome. Just like I like this stuff being featured because it really shows that, you know, Blizzard and Valiant and everyone involved is just trying so much to have this game be like as inclusive as possible so that anyone can play and anyone can feel like they're part of something, basically.
After the game was finished, he had a backstage pass to go talk to the players for a bit. And it was really cute. Like, he said himself, and you'll like this, is that his favorite player is Soon.
Obviously.
So it was like it was really cute to see him meet the other players, and he even said like maybe one day he'll be there as a player himself. Like, definitely like giving him my support and hope everything goes well for him.
Oh, so much. Yeah. Speaking of inclusivity, last week was Pride Week, and LA Valiant just embraced it full on. I mean, I feel like you have a bit more to say on this than I do.
Yeah, it was really amazing seeing Valiant put together an event in LA for the LGBT community for Pride Week in LA. And they didn't even stop there. They also had Discord emotes. I don't know if you've noticed the one that they have, which is the Valiant Pride.
I definitely have the ones that you guys copied over to the Voicing Valiant Discord as well.
Hey, they said anybody can use them. It's not as long as it's like non-profit and stuff like that. And so they have those. They also have the limited edition Pride patches, which mine came in recently. It looks really good. Thank you for buying it.
Welcome.
And they're just like happy to spread the pride everywhere. And they didn't just want to like end it for that week.
Yeah, it's because like it shouldn't just be a week-long thing. It should be a thing that, you know, just show that inclusivity is such an important part of this, and it's such an important part, in my opinion, of everything that Blizzard's trying to do. Because like, for the longest time, gaming has always been like a big boys club, and it's really nice to see, you know, so many people of so many different backgrounds getting into the game that I love.
It's like, it's very nice to, like, whether you're like LGBT plus or a supporter, like you can find a safe place with Valiant, Nike Valiant, just there, and they continue to support that. They are trying to. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing because I wasn't given the full details, but they are. There is something they're starting. If you're interested in being a part of it, you can reach out to Baited Boot on Discord at Baited Boot #5. I'm bad at numbers. 5472 on Twitter at Baited Boot. Not 100% sure what he's like cooking up, but it sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, no. I'm just really happy about all this, honestly, and that's really all I have to say. Just I'm really happy to see the team that I support putting so much effort in.
Yeah, it's like they're like basically starting a community-run support group, and it's very much like Brian's definitely okay with it, and it's so nice to see all this. Next for Valiant, coming up, they do not have any events that I know of besides viewing parties you might find at your local colleges or maybe a few bars that are like the esports bars. So I would definitely, they do not have anything on their Eventbrite, so I cannot give you a place to go find them. But the Discord does have a channel where you can put, hey, we have a viewing party here, or hey, there's a viewing party there, like, so you guys can always check that out and see if there is one coming up. Since with the wins Valiant got this last week, they are set for the playoffs.
I mean, I would hope so. They're still undefeated, but like,
yeah, they are.
I believe Gladiators is set for playoffs as well, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, depending on how this next week goes, but they are been about a 90% chance. 99.
I'm very confident that they'll get in. So it'll be a battle. There will be a battle of, hopefully be a battle of LA sometime.
Yeah, I believe it's like a
98%
chance. Since we're not talking about what's going on this week we're on right now, due to this episode supposed to be for last week. With the win on London, they knocked in as the Pacific Division number 1 team. And with the win on the Houston Outlaws, they have secured their spot in the playoffs. Depending on what they do this week, they will secure the number 1 spot, which gives them the right to choose who they go up against during the first part of the stage playoffs. And also, with the scores they have right now, they have pretty much knocked in for the season playoffs, not just the stage. So
it just makes me so excited for what's going to happen coming up.
Yeah, so definitely look out for viewing parties coming to your area. I'm really excited for those. But other than that, I do not believe there are any events besides that.
Is it time to move on?
Next week games, which is technically this week, they have the San Francisco Shocks, which was as of recording, this was actually yesterday. But
we'll talk about that. It's Sunday, so that'll be out soon.
Yeah, and then Friday, which will probably be the day this episode comes out, Valiant is going up against Field at 8 p.m. And that would be the last game before the stage playoffs, which title matches start on Sunday, June 17th at 1 p.m.
Awesome.
We do not know what time they will be because we don't know yet if they will keep the number one slot, but we'll have to see. And that's what's coming up for Valiant next week. Technically this week.
Let's go to hashtag VV Talk. We actually have a decent amount of things to talk about for hashtag VV Talk.
I guess we can start off with the World Cup stuff that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
World Cup general managers, community lead, and coaches have all been set. Recently, pretty much all, I believe Team USA and Team Canada, Team Australia, those are the ones that I've kept up with the most, have opened up open tryouts. So anyone can apply to get into those tryouts.
I hope they'll accept me in silver.
Well, that's why people have to put in. I believe people have to put in an application first to do a tryout.
Mm-hmm.
And other than that, I know a lot of them have given are giving people who are outside of the Overwatch League a chance to get in. So it's not just gonna be you're gonna see the same people who were on the team last year. No, they're opening it up for everybody. Some of them are keeping it hush-hush, and others are no more open. The community lead for Canada is actually a streamer that I watch very often, called Q.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't tell you that he got community lead.
No, you didn't tell me. You didn't tell me Karku got the lead.
Yeah, so he's community lead. He's just another social media manager. And it's really funny because I've been watching his stream for a while, and I've seen him grow. And when I go to his streams now, it's full of people just asking him questions after questions about the World Cup. And I'm just oh, please stop. He's said it so many times that he cannot disclose that information just yet. And they have not made definite decisions on who's in and who's out. They've done most of the teams seem to have done the first wave of tryouts. It's just it's so hectic because I'll be watching Overwatch. So suddenly, who's gonna be in Team Canada? I'm watching.
This is secret for reasons.
Yeah, and people go into his Discord because he has a channel that's only for subscribers, and they'll be asking questions there, and I'm just just because you're a subscriber doesn't mean you're gonna get the inside knowledge. Yeah, most of the teams have a Discord, but to join in if you want to keep up with information. I'm really hoping to see some of our Valiant boys on Team USA, Canada, Australia, because Custa's with us now, Korea, and let's see who else. I believe Numlock is from the UK. I feel like I'm forgetting something. What's Finzi from again? I forget.
I'm not sure.
Finzi is I'm hoping he's gotten his visa issues fixed so he can play this week. I know him and Izayaki were having visa issues, which is why when they put in the B team against the Dragons, they were not up there with them. So yeah, I'm hoping to see more of them. Yeah, I'm hoping to see France. I forgot about soon.
How?
I don't know.
But then again,
you didn't say it either.
When you were listening through these, I don't know. My mind auto corrected it because who would forget about soon? But no, yeah.
So France. Yeah, U.S., Canada, France, Korea, Australia, UK,
U.S., Canada, Rogue, Korea.
Rogue, Korea. Hey, Rogue's not really a thing anymore, though.
No, yeah. France is gonna be Rogue 2.0.
Yeah.
Or 2.5. That's what's gonna happen.
I'm really hoping to see
They're gonna bring the band back together.
Bring the band back together. Yeah, I'm hoping to see some of our boys up there. See how they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to give like people in contenders a chance, but at the same time, I want to see more of our boys. Just come on.
You're biased.
I am. I'm not 100% biased.
Yeah, you are.
So that's
And then Dwarf gave us like a decent amount of things to talk about as well.
Okay, so one of the questions that he has sent in is, who are your picks for Pacific Division All-Star team? So any players from the Pacific Division team?
Pacific.
Yeah.
I'm going to say soon.
Well, you gotta put in a whole team.
I know, and I can't just straight up say the Valiant because like that's cheating.
Because I try to think about it in ways of synergy and language barriers and stuff. Because part of me really wants to say Ryu Jae-hong to put him in as one of the supports.
Yeah,
but that would mean.
Well, I mean, you could have someone like Ryu, and then you can have like Kareev supporting Ryu.
But I want Custa in too. My boy Custa.
You're biased.
Custa's great.
He is. Kareev's so handsome though.
Kareev's so handsome. I cannot get rid of Kareev. Like I'm always like, I was like, maybe Sneepy. I really like Sneepy, and I'm like, wait, that means I have to get rid of Custa or Kareev. And then I look at the tanks. I'm like, maybe Super and I'm like, no. And I'm like, maybe Fisher. No. I like my boys too much.
Yeah, you like Numlocked or yeah.
Yeah,
it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard, but like we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't want to cheat and just say the Valiant boys, but I don't know. I mean, I could always put Ryu Jae-hong on main tank. Oh. Don't put
I'm just gonna my big pick is soon, but like I'm biased to sell, so don't listen to me, whoever's actually making the decisions.
Yeah, I mean the community is making the decisions, so community, don't listen to him.
Yeah, so all 20 to 50 people who listen to this podcast, my opinions are not as valid as Bookworm's.
Okay, and second question is, who is your pick for MVP and why? He's gonna say soon.
Space.
Ah, damn it! You did that on purpose. You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Yeah. No, but okay. My reasoning being like, because he can't came out in our space, like he barely turned 18, and he's such a force. Like god damn, like I really wish I could say soon, because soon has put in like so much work for Valiant, but so has Space, and like yeah I would honestly throw my support back to say, just because I feel like he's got a bit more like overall like flex, and I don't know, I feel like him and Soon are kind of tied on the amount of impact they've had on the team. And it's time to give someone else. Like my boy Soon is my personal MVP, but for the actual MVP, Space.
Well, I'm not 100% sure just yet, even though I need to put in my vote soon before they close. But like, I know that most people go for like the DPS, but I'm really leaning towards Fate right now, honestly. Like I've been going back and forth. Like I really wanted to say Custard too, but I feel like the supports won't get as much support. Just like people see the flashy plays from the DPS and maybe the Flex support, but they don't look at the support. So I'm not gonna put it in for Custer because I know he's not gonna get it. So I was thinking mainly Fate, because even before Space came in, he was very, very consistent in his plays, and he can be aggressive, but he knows when to like shield his team. He just does so well.
Yeah, no, that's one of the things. Like I would want to throw a lot more support behind tanks or supports, but if it is a community voted thing, the community is going to vote for the people who have the most screen time.
Because I know when these votes first started going on, when you look through the tweets in the MVP hashtag, besides like all the meme XQC ones, there'd be a lot of Jonak in there. But that's an obvious, like, people know him for those like amazing Zenyatta, like across the map snipes that he somehow does. Like, he is the embodiment of DPS Zen.
I mean, Zen is DPS. Yeah.
So like, that's why I said, like, if you were to see a support in that, it'd be the next support role, the one who's on the Zenyatta, that isn't the primary healer. Because the primary healer's their job is to keep them up.
Yeah.
And the flex support is kind of like there to help, like, heal and do support in other forms.
I mean, do you count Brigitte support?
The Brigitte's in a weird spot where she's more of an off tank with a support kit. People often say like Zenyatta is a DPS with a support kit, or Diva is a off tank with a DPS kit. And I feel like Brigitte is a off tank with a support kit.
Yeah. I think that's MVP. And so the last one is, who do you think is most underappreciated player in OWL?
So do you got anything for this one?
Yeah, I would say just the entire Shanghai team.
Shanghai team. They're very appreciated, but I feel like that's more people wanting to root for the underdogs rather than appreciating the actual players. So
like appreciating what's her name? Giguri. Like she's appreciated just because, first female and like God tier Zarya, but like the rest of the team, you get the rallying behind them because they're the last place team and you want them to win, but like as individual players, they're still great players.
Like, you'll see like Dia popped off, and then Nato's like, oh, Dia didn't get the kill. Oh.
Yeah, but honestly, I also like the coaches. Like Valiant talks about Coach Moon a lot, but the coaches in Overwatch, I don't hear mention of like any other team's coaches. I don't hear mention
I've
about
heard a bit of like Krusty and Kai, but that's more because like trading between coaches and stuff. So
so like the coaches, I think also are not they're not as appreciated as like in real sports. Like, if you hear talk in baseball teams or football teams or soccer teams, the coach is such an important part of the team there. And some people, there's on some teams the coach is like the most well-known person, but you go into Overwatch and
like you might know them because they used to be pro players and stuff like that.
Yeah, like Grim, but I only know Moon and Grim because I follow Valiant. I don't know the other coaches. So like I think that's something that is going to be changing as the Overwatch League gets more mature. That it will start reflecting these things that regular sports has, where the coaching staff will have more of an impact. Yeah, it will be more appreciated and have more of an impact, and you'll see like people coaches coming in. Like if Shanghai gets a staffing change and a new coach,
they constantly get staffing changes.
You know what I mean? Like if they get a new coach in and they actually score their first game, that coach's name is going to be known.
Yeah, like for what I feel with the like most underappreciated player, I gotta say Mistakes from Boston Uprising. And this has to like, when the casters talk about Mistakes, it's a lot of times it's to make a joke on his name, Mistakes. Like, oh, Mistakes made a mistakes. Oh, no mistakes here, and like stuff like that. And the thing is, when he first became the like primary DPS player after Boston Uprising let go of Dreamcasper, he was often talked about being the weak link. He was the worst player there. He it was often talked about being not a good DPS by a lot of people and the casters themselves, the analysts, all that. But I feel like he really stepped up to that role, and he worked very, very hard to be the DPS that they needed now that they got rid of one of them. And that happened in stage 3, which is like, stage 3? Yeah. The best stage. And he did so well, and people don't give him any credit. I don't like, I'm very involved in the community. I'm friends with so many artists that are fans of, like, I have at least one friend who is a fan of every team. And I don't hear talk of mistakes. I've heard talks of so many other players who are up on stage, maybe the same amount of mistakes. Mistakes is one of their like starters and one of the people who's mainly on stage. Yet you'll see more talk of striker than mistakes.
And I think that's just a really good choice. Last little thing of VV talk is something that actually I put in here, and I kind of want to talk about. I've been busy with life lately, so I haven't been able to play nearly as much Overwatch as like I'd like to. And honestly, I'm just kind of just blown away with all the meta changes I've seen since I last consistently. Because like last time I played for any decent amount of time, that wasn't just a pickup game of like deathmatch, was around Christmas time, and that's when like Lucio was still on top. You know, you still had like, you know, you dive was still a thing. Brigitte hadn't come in. The Hanzo changes hadn't come in. It was a really different meta. And now I see, like when I was watching the games preparing for this week, I just saw, like it shocked me that every team wasn't running a Lucio. It shocked me that every team wasn't running like the characters that I thought were essential, and it just makes me think like, wow, Overwatch is still such a cool evolving game. I want to know what like you thought about all the meta changes.
Like, I find it really cool. Like you said about the Nucio. Nucio is now like mostly being played in a like triple support, triple tank composition, or triple support, double tank sniper sort of thing. And you're right, like he doesn't get like in the first stage he wasn't played too much due to the Mercy meta because of how her Valkyrie worked back then. But after that change, you'd get like the Snambulance with Moira, which would work very, very well. Now, like there's a lot of changes that were made to other characters, which has made like it's if one character gets buffed, indirectly another one gets nerfed. It's just how it is. Like recently, Tracer hasn't been seen very much. It only works for specific compositions, maps. Like when you used to be able to run Tracer with almost everything, which is one of the reasons like we haven't seen Soon on Tracer or that much Bunny. If you look at his streams and stuff, he's been practicing a lot of Widow. And was it against the Dragons game, I think, that they put in him, Numnocked, Verbo, and KS. Was KS up for that one too?
I'm not quite sure.
You would see him a lot on like the Widow, because the meta has changed so much. It used to be the Tracer show for a lot of matches. Yeah, it's just like,
but now that you know, Tracer's not the greatest against Brigitte. Tracer's not the greatest against like Moira.
Because Brigitte has a basically one-shot combo on a Tracer. Basically, if you get stunned as Tracer by Brigitte, you're almost guaranteed dead unless your teammate comes in to maybe boop the Brigitte to stop her from getting the last hit on you. Or if somehow she misses, like say you get booped like onto the no ground when she shield bashes you.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
It's so interesting because like, you know, I was playing around triple tank. I was playing when, you know, everyone was complaining that triple tank was like the worst meta, and now people are looking back on it fondly. And I've kind of gone through this before with like Magic the Gathering, and I've gone through this before with other games where, you know, there's a meta people say it's like the worst meta ever, and then it changes and people look back on it fondly.
Because I feel like a lot of people are getting tired of dive, and dive was pretty much all you would see. You'd see like very little difference, maybe like an anti-dive sort of thing, but it was all dive, and people are getting tired of that. Like if you looked at this, like if you'd ask people who are watching Overwatch League, they'd say that it's getting stale of just watching dive over and over.
Yeah,
and so I'm really happy that there were these changes. But now people are just like, oh, it's so bad to play. And like, give it time.
There's always bad things. There's always good and there's bad.
Yeah, we answered the question.
I think it's about time to wrap this up.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Nothing else we're forgetting.
No Otter Pops this week?
No Otter Pops this week, I don't think.
So I believe that is all for Voicing Valiant. If you would like your questions or suggestions to be on the show next week or in a few days, as this episode is a bit late, you can send them in at #VVTalk or join the Discord and send them in our suggestions channel. Want to leave us feedback? We also have a feedback channel. If you want to know more about Voicing Valiant, you can follow us on Twitter at Voicing Valiant, or again join the Discord. If you want to know more about Valiant, you can follow them at I was about to say at Voicing Valiant. No at LA Valiant on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Reddit, Discord, and Snapchat.
And if you're listening to this podcast on Anchor, you can also use, if you're on an iPhone, either the podcast app or Overcast, or if you're on Android, something like Pocket Cast, or I believe we're on the Google Play Store. You can just download it to your phone and listen to it whenever, wherever.
Yeah, we've had some people ask us about putting it on different podcast sites.
We are on, I believe, every major podcast site that is not Spotify, because Spotify is weird.
Spotify is weird.
Spotify is very weird.
If you do not like how Anchor is, you can try one of those other apps instead.
Yeah, and besides that, I think we're done here. I'm going to be trying to get this all up on YouTube too, so if you use YouTube, you can listen to us there.
See ya.
Good night. Never mind. Cut this.
See, this is why he's not the usual co-host.
No, this is all getting edited out.